All right, let's call the Center County Board of Commissioners Tuesday meeting to order at 10 o'clock. All those who are able, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, do we have any public comment for items not appearing on today's agenda? May have a hand there in the back. Come on up, give us your name and your municipality, and you've got 5 minutes.
All right. My name is Bryce Taylor. I am from Milesburg, Pennsylvania. And before I begin, it would help me if I knew if you received my letter. I sent a letter last week about our situation in the borough of Milesburg.
Yeah, I believe we did.
Did receive, so I don't need to kind of repeat what I said there.
Been reading about it in the newspaper too, yes.
Well, I'm here because this is far beyond what's in the newspaper. Our borough government is, at this point, not functional. And along with, there's a lot of us in the community that are at this point really looking for answers. And answers are not coming. I've reached out to many different agencies, local in Harrisburg, and it's pretty clear that we're in this weird twilight zone where on the books we have 6 council members. One has resigned. We have a vacancy, but in practice, there's not even a quorum to hold a meeting. There has been so much. We've had 7, 8 meetings already this year trying to get control of our government, going back to the beginning of the year when our staff all resigned. And in that amount of time, there has been nothing has happened. We've just lost ground. So we've reached a point now where, like I said, we're looking for answers. And it's really hard because I've done a lot of public service. I've worked in a lot of committees and local things. And to come up here and stand before you and say that there is no solution other than to hire a lawyer and take them to court is really hard for me to do, because that is a last resort. But I really feel we're at that last resort. It just doesn't seem like there's any way that the borough is going to pull this together and fix this from inside out, given that it's not even clear we're going to have another meeting until these things just continue. If we allow things to go on the present track, it will take months for this to work itself using the mechanisms that are in Borough Code, or in the Sunshine Act, or in all the other places where we should have remedies. None of those remedies are really functioning now, and nobody knows what to do. And I've been looking around, and I really just come back to the idea that it seems like the only salient way to go forward is to find a private attorney. It is really quite, there's a lot going on out there. We either need to find a private attorney or we need to inspire some outside agency to step in and take a look at the situation. But in 3 months, we haven't yet been able to get anybody to step in and take a look at the situation. I understand that the county's not really geared to that. That's not really, there's no mechanism in any of the code that says that the county would step in and do something. And I'm not asking for that because I know that's not really what you do. What I'm asking for, and this is one of other stuff, I will just keep going from agency to agency until somebody says, I can help you, is we need someone to help the residents of the community represent themselves against the borough. I hate to put it that way, but against the borough, who is not shown any interest in serving the residents of the community. And that's pretty much it. So when I write to you and when I'm here now, I'm asking is if there is anything that either you can do directly, whether it is offering some kind of funding support so that a group of us can hire an attorney to take this into the Court of Common Pleas, whether it is having some way to provide direct legal assistance to help us, or whatever connections you can give us to any other agency, local, state, whatever it is. The residents of my community need help. And I'm rapidly running out of places to go to ask for it. That's why I'm here. So, that's it.
Sure, well.
Thank you for your
Well,
consideration.
that's okay. You can stay up there if you want. We appreciate your concern, and we see that you're definitely a concerned citizen of Milesburg Borough. Pennsylvania is a commonwealth. Power is very, very widely shared. And thankfully, you've already done enough research to see that based on the laws of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the commissioners are not able to intervene in any way directly. And we've had this problem going back to the founding of the country, Bryce. I believe there's something called a writ of mandamus, which dates back to the very early 1800s, where some elected officials were not performing their duties. So one suggestion I would have would be, when you do finally meet with a lawyer, is look at writ of mandamus.
Oh, I have met with a
Talk,
lawyer.
okay, talk with the district attorney locally. Probably have to first go through the Court of
I
Common
have talked with the
Pleas.
district
Oh, good.
attorney. I
Okay,
have
good.
already done all these things.
All right.
The problem is they're all saying, sorry, can't help. And now you're saying, sorry, can't help.
Yeah, I don't believe we have any
The
ability
attorney I
to-
spoke to, it's not a question of having good arguments.
Yeah,
We have good arguments.
yeah,
I mean, the attorney, he, 1, 2, 3, like,
Yeah.
all of these are salient things that we could take into court that would go somewhere.
Yeah.
The problem is money. Our community, so, I mentioned this in the letter, there's several people in the community that I've been talking to. There's like a little network. I mean, we're really, I'm not alone. Let me know if I can help, we'll chip in, you know? Oh, I'll chip
Yeah.
in. But we're not a wealthy community. I mean, we're pretty, you know, no offense to my neighbors, but we're pretty low rent. Nobody in our community can afford thousands, maybe tens of thousands of dollars of legal fees when you talk about opposing counsels, multiple opposing counsels, briefs, the research. There's a lot of unknowns in this legal territory. I mean, everybody I've talked to, all the lawyers, the solicitors, are all kind of mystified by this weird zone that we found ourselves in. I cannot, in good principle, ask my neighbors, you know, hey, I'm gonna pass the hat, chip in $100, chip in $100. They can't afford that. I can't afford that. None of it can afford that. What is most frustrating is that we should even need to do that. That there is not some mechanism, some funding support or legal support or a place I can go where there is help for the community to do these things without having to do it on their own. But that's where we're stuck, is it seems like the only way is for me to pony up some cash to a lawyer, which I've already done. But it goes no further if there's not help. And there's no help. We're stuck on our own. And I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna find a way.
yeah.
I'm gonna find a way. I'm gonna start calling, I'm gonna call, you know, nonpartisan nonprofits. I'm gonna start reaching out to other state agencies. I mean, I'm not giving up. But I'm really, really frustrated that all the places, all the people I've talked to, district attorneys, Center County commissioners, DCED, you know, it goes around and around. And I get the same answer everywhere I go. The system is not set up to help us. And I feel like it's not just a failure of Milesburg government, it's a failure of all government at this point. Going back to January 2nd, with all the troubles that we have had in the wake of the resignations that happened, there's never been any help to help us get it back together. The people who sat on the council, some of them who tried really hard, had no support, had no help. They're in it on their own with their own wits and just all of us coming together and try. I know I'm going over time, so I'm going to let it go. I think I'm
Some disservice
getting the
from
point
next
across. I
door.
mean, my frustration, you can sense it
Yes.
because we're getting to the end of the line. And this is going to go on for months and months and months, and we're going to watch a government failing live time. It's going to be on TV. It's going to be in the paper.
Yeah.
We're all going to see it. And I'm going to be going around everywhere else and explaining to people what's going on. And there's no good answers.
Bryce, if you would allow me the courtesy, I
Yeah.
want to contact you after the meeting and,
Please, please. I mean, that's really, I didn't expect anything today.
Yeah.
I didn't. I just wanted to emphasize the situation. But any follow-up that any of you could give us,
Yeah.
we're trying. We're trying to
Yeah.
save our town. Our town's getting torn apart by this.
we appreciate you
So-
coming
Yeah,
in.
thank
Thanks
you
for
for coming
coming.
and
Thank you.
speaking.
Thank you.
All right. Any other public comment for items not appearing on today's agenda? All right. Any additions to the agenda? Okay. Meeting minutes, fine as presented? All right.
I'll move to approve the minutes from the meeting held March 19th.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the minutes from the meeting held on March 19th. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Now, talking about the importance of local government staff, we're moving on to proclamation number 12 of 2024, proclaiming April 2024 as National County Government and Center County Employee Appreciation Month in Center County. We have 550 employees in Center County government who do 52 completely different, separate things. That doesn't count the nearly 100 nonprofits that we support and the 18,000 citizens that we serve directly every year. Nationally, county governments are one of the largest employers as a group. And I'll start the proclamation and we'll pass it around. But again, very much would like to thank Center County government employees for the amazing job they do every day, oftentimes difficult in an area larger than the state of Rhode Island. Whereas the nation's 3,143 counties, serving more than 33 million Americans, provide essential services to create healthy, safe, vibrant, and economically resilient communities. And whereas counties move progress forward by providing health care and human services, administering justice, keeping communities safe, creating economic opportunities, and much more. And whereas Center County and all counties take pride in their responsibilities to protect and enhance the health, well-being, and safety of its residents in efficient and cost-effective ways. And bigger paragraph there.
Whereas the employees of Center County government provide a broad array of services in areas including human services, elections and voter registration, emergency communications and response, property assessment, transportation, court administration, criminal justice, land use, economic and environmental planning, and GIS assistance for the citizens of Center County. And whereas the 600 county employees strive daily to perform their jobs with professionalism and integrity in order to improve the lives of all citizens. We get to share this one.
Yes.
Whereas the Center County Board of Commissioners acknowledges the hard work, dedication, and leadership its employees exhibit on a daily basis across all departments and offices of Center County government. And whereas the National Association of Counties designates April as a time to highlight the services of county government. Now therefore be it resolved that the Center County Board of Commissioners does hereby proclaim April 2024 as National County Government and Center County Employee Appreciation Month and recognizes all county officials and employees for their contributions. To be adopted this day, this 26th day of March 2024.
Thanks, April. I don't know if our County Administrator, John Fronick, would like to add anything.
I continue to be humbled and honored to be a part of such an incredible team. Many of our departments are called to respond 24/7, 365 to those in our community who are experiencing some of the darkest moments in their life. And yet, when I pass most of these folks in the hallway, I'm greeted with a cordial hello and a smile. And so it takes a special kind of person to perform the services that the county provides. and our team is stacked.
Thanks, John. Are we going to do a picture?
Absolutely.
Okay. Maybe Brandy or somebody could take the picture for us. All right. So why don't we adopt the proclamation, and then we'll have all the county employees in the room come up, including row officers if we've got any. Amber, let's do the motion first, though.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I will move to adopt Proclamation 12 of 2024 proclaiming April 2024 National County Government and Center County Employee Appreciation Month in Center County.
And I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to adopt Proclamation 12, proclaiming April as National County Government and Center County Employee Appreciation Month in Center County. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. All right, let's have all the county employees in the room come up, and we got everybody out in the hall. County employees, row officers,
Even if the sheriff's out there, let him in.
Sarah.
They just ordered you.
I just know that this normally
Oh,
happens.
yeah. Thanks.
That's right.
Right there, right?
Yeah.
Get your picture.
Where's the sheriff when you need him?
Oh, I don't.
I know on this side of Steve.
They get to hold the
That's right. That could well be.
Let Kevin
We're gonna have a
rotate a
little
little bit.
shift.
We're gonna
On the other
shift.
side
Yeah,
there.
we're way too-
Somebody's got to split
We're
one.
way too heavy on the Millhouse side.
Short guys, make sure they're up front, we're short.
Natalie, get it in there.
Let's get in, let's crawl in
Buddy,
here.
help me hold it.
Let's shuffle in there as time is Get in here, John.
Can you squeeze in a little bit?
Can you get all our smiling
I
faces?
got
Brandon?
y'all,
Oh,
ready?
good. There you go.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Don't move. Okay.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thanks, Brady. Welcome.
You didn't look at the picture, Brian.
I did. I tried to clear it, I did.
It's like a glimmer.
How's Larry?
Mark, you need your mic.
Yeah, Steve, you can pass me back my mic, it's the further one.
Yeah, I just want to actually, before we move it,
Yeah.
and I really appreciate everything that our employees do for us on a daily basis. But, you know, I woke up this morning, and I think many of us saw the tragedy on the bridge down
Yes.
in Maryland, and I was reminded of the exercise we did last week, and that we had an emergency management exercise, and it was one of those moments where, you know, you hope nothing ever bad happens, but when something really awful and horrible happens, it's good to know that you've got an incredible team that not only is trained, but actually cares enough about our community to get a lot of really amazing things done for us. And I hope that the folks down in Maryland have that same esprit de corps and feeling about their people, because, you know, you know, sometimes we do feel like the Maytag repairman, where, you know, we're waiting for things to break. But when they do break, and we've seen them break, it's good to have a great team around it. To John, to your point, it's like we are very well blessed with folks that I feel confident that would handle that type of situation well. Knock on wood, we never experience it. So just wanted to share that.
Agreed.
Yes, thanks, Steve. And we did experience it, I think, twice during your terms in office and
Yeah.
once during mine, so we did come together well. Now we'll move on to Proclamation 13, proclaiming April 1st through 8th as Restorative Justice Initiative Week in Center County. And Carrie Hall, our Head of Criminal Justice Planning, will kick it off.
Well, I'm going to invite some guests up today from Penn State's Restorative Justice Initiative to talk about Justice Education Week. So we have Brandy Henry, Ephraim Marimone, and Irvin Moore, who are going to speak about all the activities and events they have planned for next week. So if y'all want to come up, you can either sit at the table or at the podium.
Thank you, sir.
Carrie didn't tell us that we were going to be talking today, so this is exciting. I will try to be brief. I'm Ephraim. I'm the director of the Restorative Justice Initiative at Penn State. We were here last year, so we do appreciate the proclamation acknowledging the work that we're doing. More specifically, in line with April, which is Second Chance Awareness Month. So what we do is bring attention and awareness to individuals who are returning home, and not only the impacts of incarceration, but how we can support individuals, community members, families, and our neighbors as they return home. Next week kicks off the beginning of what actually is now going to be a month's worth of acknowledgement. But next week we will have a reentry simulation where we invite individuals to understand how the systems and those are impacting individuals as they return home. We've done that every year, and it's helped bring awareness and empathy to the work. We also have a Reentry Reimagined Summit on Wednesday of next week. So we're inviting faith-based organizations, spiritual leaders, community leaders, and advocacy groups to think about how we can better support and be service providers in this space. We also have a career fair and resource fair for individuals the following Monday, so I think that's the 8th, as well as restorative circles and training and practice. So I want to yield the rest of my time, though, to who will be our keynote for our summit on Wednesday and also is leading our restorative circle training and is our community and education liaison, Mr. Irvin Moore. So I don't know if you want a few words.
Please.
I will take a few words. Good morning, everyone in the room. We greatly and deeply appreciate this opportunity. We appreciate the fact that Justice Education Week is going to be proclaimed officially to mean something, as it means to a lot of people. Now, again, I said I'm going to be brief, but you guys know me. I have talked to you a few times, and it's hard for me to be brief. Today is March 26th, and today is the anniversary of my freedom. I came home 3 years ago today after serving 52 years in prison. 52 years, longer than the majority of you guys have been alive. Definitely. And I know it doesn't seem like I'm an old man, but I am. I'm 78 years old, and I have been blessed, not just to be here today, but blessed to be provided with the opportunity to involve myself with something like Penn State University's Restorative Justice Initiative, because we touch a lot of lives. And the importance of, we have 2 penitentiaries right down the road from us. We have Center County Correctional Facility right down the street. And we have over 90+% of men and women and children that are incarcerated that are coming back into our communities. The importance of what happens to them while they're there is paramount. And I understand that, I know that, I experienced that. And when I say I've been blessed, not just with freedom, not just with liberation, but with the path and the direction that I was blessed to take for those 52 years that led me to this point. To be standing in front of men and women, illustrious and honored like yourselves, and thanking you for this opportunity to provide our citizens with the joy of welcoming home their sons, their brothers, their loved ones. So again, I have a tendency to be long-winded. And I'm smiling now because I know I'm going to have to cut all of this short. But I do so with gratitude and with thanks for this opportunity from all of us. So again, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Irvin.
Randy?
I'll say something so I'm not just standing here. I just want to highlight that the activities Ephraim mentioned are open to the public, so it'd be wonderful to see any or all of you at any of them. And we do have a website where you can check out the agenda, which the event Irvin is speaking at is an all-day event, so you should definitely come and hear him speak, but there's lots of other people all day long as well. And the website is ed.psu.edu/justice-education-month. And there are things all the way down. Sorry. ed.psu.edu pennstate.edu/justice-education-month.
And you can Google it if you
You
forget
can
that
Google it
website.
too.
Yeah,
Perfect. Thank you all so much.
you're welcome. Great, well, thanks, thank you very much for coming. Was there anything else, Carrie? No? All right. Anything else the other two commissioners would like to say?
Yeah, just, I think that'll be a wonderful event. Thank you for all the work that you do in the community to help both highlight the challenges that our returning citizens have when they're reentering, and provide resources like this career fair. That sounds like, that's really an important opportunity for reentering citizens to connect with potential employers. And, the opportunity to hear Mr. Moore speak should be wonderful. He really has a story that's an incredible story of resilience and grace.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So thank you for coming and thank you for sharing your story. And, it's just inspiring to see over the 3 years since you have re-entered as a citizen into the community, how much work you have done as, someone who is, as you said, 78 years old, but you have, worked so hard over the
There's
past
so
3
much work
years.
that needs to be done.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, very inspiring story.
Commissioner Dershowitz?
Well, I think it goes without saying, a lot of folks don't appreciate what it means to come back into society, back home, and realize some of the hurdles and challenges. And I know we in county government have a minor appreciation of what you've experienced, Irvin. Most of our folks are in our custody, if you will, for a month, maybe two, up to 2 years. 52 years, there's a wealth of experience there and a wealth of knowledge that we really appreciate you bringing back. So we can make it more successful for people, because we want people to be successful when they come out of incarceration. When all the returning citizens, whether you're in for 2 days, 2 years, or 52 years, we want to make sure that you're productive and have the resources you need to be successful. And I think this is just one of those more, the more we emphasize the fact that there are those challenges out there and we understand those challenges, I think we're all better for it. And I appreciate what Penn State's given the opportunity to do, and I think that reflects back through our local community in so many different ways. And just want to say thank you for coming in and sharing that. And I'd love to sit down with you sometime and hear a little bit more about your story. I
have a story.
Oh, I bet. And I think it would be very, very enlightening to see some of the over 52 years, the changes that you've seen in the system that we can continue to improve. So, anyways, well, thank you for coming in this morning, and it means a lot to us.
Great, well, thanks again for attending, and a lot of different events happening in April at Penn State with ed.psu.edu/justice/education/month.
Or if you were going to Google something, what would the keywords that you would Google? How about that?
Penn State Justice Education Month.
There you go.
Or week, both of them will show
All
up.
right.
All right.
So we got it all covered.
All right,
Perfect.
very good. Well, unless there's anything else, I think we could take a motion.
Okay, I will move to adopt Proclamation 13 of 2024, proclaiming April 1st through the 8th, 2024 as Restorative Justice Initiative Week in Center County.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to adopt proclamation number 13, proclaiming the first week of April as Restorative Justice Initiative Week in Center County. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks again for coming. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks. Now we'll move on to a whole bunch of contracts.
Picture.
Do you want to do a picture?
Oh, picture. Sorry, picture.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah. I think Aaron can get this one.
It's always fine with it.
You want to set her on the county map there?
Set her on
Indeed,
Bellefonte.
indeed.
There we go.
And I'm gonna need a copy of this.
Oh,
Let
definitely.
everyone know.
You want to hold it, Irvin?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Always Always a pleasure.
It's always a pleasure.
It's so good to see you.
You know, I hug the lady.
Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Indeed.
Thank you.
All right, so now moving on to a bunch of contracts. We'll start with the Center County Correctional Facility. I believe our warden, Glenn Irwin, has 3 different items for us, but we'll need to take 2 different motions on it.
Okay, good morning. First item is requesting your consideration to approve a contract with Babs, Callan, Clements, and Zonar. They will provide solicitor services to Center County for the 2024 contract negotiation with the Correction Officers Union.
All right. I think we'll need to vote on that. Any other comments on that one, Glenn?
No.
All right. Questions from either commissioner?
No, I guess it's contract time again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll move to approve the contract with Babs, Callen, Clements, and Zomnier.
I will second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve the contract with Baps, Calland, Clemens, and Zomnier. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We'll now move on to the next 2 items.
Item number 2 is requested consideration to approve the purchase of a Ranger drug glue from Secure Technology Value Solutions. Their home office is based here in Center County, a locally owned company. This is to help detect contraband, another piece of equipment to be proactive instead of reactive in our efforts to keep the jail 100% drug-free. This came in at a cost of $19,400, which is under what we budgeted for, so happy about that. That was in our budget request for this year, and we're about $3,500 under. And the last item is a no-cost user agreement between Prime Care Medical and Center County for the continued access to the electronic medical records. That would be for myself, both deputy wardens, and Amy Miller from MHID. It's just a legal agreement that we know the parameters that we're allowed to look at the information on thereof, so.
All right. Great. Thanks
We've had
for
it
that.
for years, but Prime Care's
Yeah.
requesting a agreement now
Yeah.
to continue our viewing of it.
All right. Great. Any questions from other commissioner on these 2 items?
Other than, how does this Ranger device work? I'm just curious now. You don't have to go into specifics that
Yeah,
that deter security, but
Yeah, if you ingest something, or we believe you ingest something, you will use this device, and when it's expelled from your body, it separates the waste from the drug or other foreign object. It's currently staff have to do that by hand, which is not a pleasant job. And without going into much detail, I'm sure you can imagine, this product does that for you. We've seen it in use 2 different times now. And once again, Center County be leading the way. I think we'll be the first county jail in the state to have this piece of equipment in Pennsylvania, as far as I know.
good to know.
Great.
Sounds like it'll be appreciated by the staff.
Yeah, the staff were pretty excited when I said we were looking at purchasing one.
Yeah.
We don't use it often, but when we do,
Yeah,
it's,
you need it.
yes.
Yeah.
And what's the lifespan of such a device?
About
depending on
10
use?
years.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Yep.
Yeah. Sounds like a great idea. I certainly wouldn't want to have that on my schedule for an upcoming day. Unless there's anything else, we'll take a motion.
I'll move to add the Center County Correctional Facility items 2 and 3 to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor of adding the 2 items from the correctional facility, do so by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks, Glenn.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Now we're joined by our sheriff and possibly 1 or 2 additional guests. I don't know if they were able to, there she is.
Yeah, you want to go still have a seat?
All right.
Okay.
No, I'm good here.
You
All
sure
right.
you want to talk? Oh. Well, come on over here, come on over here.
You got to talk to
Yeah.
me. It's this.
Yeah, this is a fun contract. This is something we very much enjoy doing. The sheriff is here to talk about renewing a contract with Snowshoe Rails to Trails, which I think is one of the largest user groups in the entire county.
All I want to say is thanks for listening to us today, and And we've had a good relationship with the commissioners and certainly a good relationship with the sheriff's office. It really helps us a lot on our trail to have their presence for people who are looking for, they feel more comfortable that the trail is patrolled by an official presence, and also to keep the renegades to a minimum. And
Try to.
Yeah, try to. We do the best we can. It's nice to have them come in and check certain spots where there is maybe a little bit of a disturbance, like up at the mountaintop pool every now and then they get carried away, or down by number 10. And their presence down there is welcomed. So, but all in all, our members, we usually run about 4,000 renewing members every year.
Yeah.
So you have different people coming in and coming out, and quite a few from out of state that have to be reminded of what Pennsylvania laws are, such as wear your helmet, especially in the summertime. And now that you have a lot of the UTVs with the enclosed, they feel like they don't have to, but until Pennsylvania changes that law, they do have to wear their helmet. We feel that our trail is a child-friendly trail for those that are learning how to run an ATV, because it's a straight railroad bed. You really shouldn't have any problems there with that, with climbing hills or anything like that. But it's a good stepping stone for them to learn how to manage a larger machine as they grow older. And it's a good family sport. It brings a lot of people in. You know how you lose track of your children after they get older and in sports. So this is something that kind of keeps them together doing something that they all like. So we also get together several times throughout the year, and as Mimi knows, we collect a lot of trash. We had 286 bags of trash we collected last year, and we're going to do several cleanups this year, and we'll add different areas to it since we're getting more areas legalized, which is a good thing, because we can get out there and clean the roads up. Snowshoe Borough just recently passed a law to all of their roads are legal, except there's a few that dangle into 144, and we don't need them to go that way. So we have all the roads marked that are legal, especially up to the pool is nice, because then they can also take advantage of parking up there with their motorhomes or whatever, and use the facilities at the pool. They have showers there and all of that, so it's nice to have that too. And downtown now we have a really nice bed and breakfast area. Well, it's the Kramer's Family Inn, and it's a real nice place to stay. They've renovated an old home, and they have beautiful facilities. So what we're asking for is this contract so that we can maintain this relationship with the sheriff's office.
We have it for 4 years. I'd like to do it for my term, so not to come see you guys so much but I enjoy this, and we've had a great relationship for years. I worked the rails and trails when I was a deputy and then as a sergeant. I was up there almost every weekend because
Yes.
I liked it. So it's they've been doing it for probably 18 years, 15 years.
Since Denny was the sheriff, yeah.
So it's been a long time. It's a great relationship. We like being up there. The guys like to go up there. It's a nice overtime for some of the guys. You're out in the mountains riding around in four-wheelers. So I like the air conditioning of a car most of the time for me.
Well, you have a truck now, too.
And we have a truck we
Yeah,
get to
you
haul
will.
up with
You
with
go
too
on
as
the
well.
Cato Road. It
Good.
will
A
be
little better
easier.
it's a little easier on our vehicles going out in Canaan. We've blown some tires
Yes.
and other cruisers out there going
Yeah.
out on those roads out there. So, but it's so many miles. How many up to now? How many miles?
Oh, my, I'm not sure.
I think it was over 50.
I'm sure it is,
Well, it was
because
over 50.
you don't have to do the Bloody Skillet, but we have all of our township roads. Now we have the Snowshoe Borough roads, and we have the connector of Myers Run to the Black Shannon Park.
Yeah, I didn't
which-
know that. I mean,
Yeah,
so it was well
it
over
only
50.
opens up whenever DCNR opens up their seasons. So we'd like to work on that, because in the wintertime, we would still like to go that way. There's a really nice buffalo farm out there for everybody to see, and it's quite a draw.
I didn't know they legalized so many roads. We can't chase people as much as we used to because they're on the roads.
Yeah.
They're on the roads anyhow. So
Yeah, now in Snowshoe, you don't have to, because they're
Right,
legal.
yeah. So no, but I just would ask the commissioners to, renew this contract. It's a great relationship between the two agencies, and I think it'd be a good thing. So.
We don't have much in Snowshoe anymore. We don't have a grocery store, we don't have a bank, we don't have a hardware store. So at least if we can keep this Snowshoe Rails and Trails bringing in people, maybe those things will start to come our way also.
I've been up there on weekends, Memorial Day weekends or Labor Day, with the big weekends, and there's campers everywhere. I mean, the parking lot's packed with campers, and you just spend a lot of time there. You meet people from all over the, from West Virginia, New Jersey,
New
New York. I mean, it's a good place to come, and like she said, it's family friendly. They come, they ride miles and miles of trails, and they're all well kept and well maintained by the snowshoe rails and trails. So I think it's a benefit for local economy and for the local community.
Yeah, wonderful recreation, tourism, great events. I've been to a number of your pig
Yes, you
roasts.
have.
Yeah,
Enjoy those.
those are good things. The barbecues
Yeah.
and the big roasts. So,
Yeah. Commissioner Concepcion, anything you'd like to add?
Seems like a good idea. I mean, helps with the safety of those that are out on the trails to know that
Definitely.
in an emergency, there's some help
We've had a
available.
few of those. It's just that, I mean, everyone likes it. We try to keep the trail safe from, and just organized a little
The
bit.
officers are so good at educating people too. They're there to inform and educate more than to, fine them.
Yeah, we don't find them.
Yeah.
Give them warnings a lot of times. We don't want to kick people off the trail.
Right.
So we give them a second chance. So to speak.
Yeah.
So,
Commissioner Dershowitz, anything you'd like to add?
No, it's been a great program for a number of years now, and I'm glad we can support it. So keep up the good. It sounds like an awesome opportunity for somebody in the hotel business too.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I'm getting a vibe here that maybe that would be the place to be.
Well, an awful lot of bed and breakfasts have sprung up in our area.
Oh, no doubt.
I do have newsletters here for you.
Yes.
In case you don't all get newsletters.
I already got one.
You should have got
I
one,
got one.
yes. But that way you could, that's our most recent one.
Yeah.
We'll try to get one out in July also, and then at the end of the year, we do another one.
Yeah, great stories, multiple pages, advertising.
Yes. We have a lot of sponsors.
Yes.
If you need something, just check the sponsor list.
Yeah. Great. Well, unless there's anything else on the topic, we'll take a motion.
Yep.
Okay. I will move to approve the contract with the Snowshoe Rails to Trails Association.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the contract with the Snowshoe Rails to Trails Association. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose nay. Motion carries. Great. Thank you. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
coming, Brian. Thanks for
Thank
coming,
you.
Trilby.
Get a picture?
Yeah.
Say
Larry
hi to
said-
Larry for us.
Larry
Everyone's
geez.
All
picture.
right.
Why did Larry
All
come
right.
along, you know?
Larry can't be here because his cancer is going to
I did not know. I'm sorry to hear that.
He's not real noble.
Well, give him our best.
Yeah, I will. That's why I'm here.
Pretty fantastic, trust me. I didn't have to say anything.
Regardless of the center.
This is my second picture. This one's going to cost some money.
I like this one. I like your picture.
Make sure we send that up
Thank
to
you,
Larry.
thank you, thank you.
Talk to you soon.
Yes,
Give our best to Larry.
yes, and come to the events. Come to the
Yeah.
events. We have very good chicken market.
Yes.
All right. Now we'll move on to the Center County Recycling Refuse and Authority to consider a waste planning grant. You're already
Hello again.
Already
It
ready.
hasn't been so long since
Yes.
I was here before, and then I want to say, if you're looking at sponsorships, under Center County's Recycling and Refuse Authority, we sponsor a chapter of Keep America Beautiful, and so Keep Center County Beautiful is a sponsor of Rails to Trails, and I'm proud that Trilby is one of our board members as well. So, love all the community support that we have. So I'm here to request that you consider approval of the contract for a 901B DEP waste planning grant. That grant is different from the A that we had done last year, which helped us with our solid waste. This is for HHW, Household Hazardous Waste Education, for a 2-year span. If you probably have been listening to the radio, you've already heard Amy is our education coordinator, full gear with the advertisements. We do have 2 household hazardous waste events. One is the HHW event itself, April 26th and 27th of next month. And then in May, we are now making an annual tire collection event to keep those out of our way. So May 18th, we'll be hosting a tire collection event. We had a trial one in the fall, it was successful, and we are hoping with the funding from DEP for reimbursement on those activities, that we'll be able to continue both of those events at no charge to the community. So,
That's wonderful, because I was one of your early adopters on the tire recycling.
I remember you
It was
driving
easy
through,
peasy,
yeah.
just came in, dropped off, and
it is,
kept
it'll be up
moving.
to 12 tires per resident
Yeah.
to bring in at no charge, and the
Oh, wow, no
HHW
charge.
event,
Yeah.
please bring in all of your chemicals that are lurking in a garage and
Yeah.
things that you aren't so sure about, we are happy to take those at no charge too.
Yeah, and those tires from my mother's old car have been in my basement for several years, so appreciate getting the space back. Anything else you'd like to add?
There was nothing else. Thank you. I just request you to approve the grant for us.
All
Continue
right.
what we do.
And when is that event
Questions?
coming up next month
April
again?
26th and 27th. It'll be on Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. and on Saturday from 8 to 2. We are requesting registration, either online or you can call our office. It just helps that the cars move a
Yeah.
lot more quickly, so
Yes.
there weren't the backlogs in years past of everyone coming at noon.
Right, right. Any questions, Commissioner Concepcion? Anything
I'm
else?
all good to
Commissioner
go.
Bertram?
Thank you.
All right.
I'll move to approve the Municipal Waste Planning Grant Award through the Department of Environmental Protection.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Municipal Waste Planning Grant Award through the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, pose nay. Motion carries. Great. Thank
Thank
you
you very much. I will leave the flyers if you would like.
Oh,
to put it
all
on
right.
That'd be
there.
great.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope to see you all there in April.
Thanks. All right, and now we've got planning and community development with 3 memorandums of understanding. I sense a newspaper article in this somewhere, or perhaps
I suspect.
a video article.
Yes, thank you and good morning. Aaron needed to go get a password from Lisa, so in the meantime, I can
Okay.
at least start to explain
Yes.
the process. But before I get into the presentation, after it gets logged into, and back to this computer.
Got to have our passwords. And for security, they're at least 16
Even if I
characters
didn't look, I
long,
wouldn't
so they're not
remember, so
easy
we're
to.
good.
It's more than 2 digits, isn't it?
That's
Yeah.
right. And hopefully it logs in.
Hopefully, it doesn't need a security update.
Right.
All right, looking good.
Oh, that's okay. Perfect, thank you. Thanks, and good morning. Thanks, Lisa. Before I get into the presentation of the slides, just real quick, the memorandums of understanding, MOUs for short, that are being presented today is a 3-party agreement. And it's between the developer, the township, and the county, whereby the developer agrees to reimburse the townships for the costs associated with the township engineers processing, reviewing, inspecting, and approving the engineering details of the plan. In short, this MOU is simply an agreement that the developer agrees to pay for the municipality's engineers' reviewing time. The Board of Commissioners aren't actually approving the plan itself. That's vested in the Center County Planning Commission. This is just that agreement for reimbursement costs. So with that being said, there are 3 memorandums of understanding that are on today's agenda. The first one is the Dollar General, and that's in Snowshoe Township, and it's a final land development. And where it's located is just west of Reese's truck stop and just east of the Snowshoe Borough Municipal Line. This is Interstate 80, and if you get off of the Interstate 80, you're going to hit 144, and about 400 feet from Reese's truck stop, you're going to hit the area that's going to be subdivided to about approximately a 2-acre lot, and the lot that's going to be developed is depicted in the thick black line. This is Reese's truck stop. To the left or west is Snowshoe Borough, and this is the old Hall's grocery store that's now a Dollar Tree and Family Dollar, I believe, with the Snowshoe Dollar General being proposed constructed just north of that property. And the plan that was submitted by Larson Design Group is up on the screen showing the 12,480 square foot Dollar General market. With stormwater facilities underground and external. So that's one of the memorandums of understanding. The second MOU is we're going to switch gears now to a residential subdivision. This is out in Potter Township, and it's the second phase of the Horizon at Brush Valley. This is a final plan, and it's going to be showing 40 lots, 39 of which are residential and 1 is open space. This is located about a half a mile east of the Center Hall Borough Potter Township Municipal Line along 192. And everything that's highlighted in black is the entire tract that's being developed. It doesn't represent the next phase. The next phase is shown in this light gray area. Existing Phase 1 was approved back in 2020 for 34 residential lots, 1 open space and 2 stormwater. And in the middle is Phase 2, and then there's future Phase 3. Overall, the Horizon and Brush Valley will have 98 lots, 94 of which are residential. The third memorandum, this is just another slide showing a little bit more of the lots, more of the detail of the lots that are being subdivided in Phase 2. And then the third MOU is the Bellefonte Warehouse. This is located in Benner Township in the Benner Commerce Park. And just to give an idea of where the Benner Commerce Park is, this is Interstate 99 with Benner Pike, and as you're going north toward Bellefonte, or if you're heading south toward the Nittany Mall. And there have been already 5 lots that have been previously developed within Benner Commerce Park. These are not the order in which they were developed, but I just did this way to make it easier to follow. For instance, the State Police Barracks was approved. That had a building footprint of 16,000 square feet. Then below that is Homeland Manufacturing, almost 21,000 square feet.
They have a big flag.
They do, very big flag.
That's how you can tell them.
Yes. Not Phase 3. Cleveland Brothers was actually the first building built in the Benner Commerce Park, and that has almost an 85,000 square foot print. Next to that is Happy Valley Blended Products. They have an initial footprint of 60,000 square feet, but they've been approved for an additional 15,000 square foot building in addition for a total of 75,000 square feet. And last but not least is Socotec with a 55,000 square foot building footprint. The plan has not yet been formally submitted, but there was a sketch/preliminary plan that's been submitted as the developer is still working on the final footprint size. It's going to be roughly 123 to maybe 130,000 square foot footprint. And this is going to be located on a single lot, being lot 14 of the Benner Commerce Park subdivision, consisting of about, I believe, 46 acres, with the access being right at the State Police Barracks at Industrial Drive. Just for a little bit of context, the Bellefonte Warehouse initially came in, they were going to consolidate those 3 lots into a 103-acre parcel with a 1 million square foot warehouse facility that has been formally withdrawn by the applicant, and they're proposing a reduced building footprint of approximately 123,000.
So it's about 10% the size.
Something like that, correct. And those are the 3 MOUs that are being presented to the board today.
Great, well, thanks for presenting that, Chris. We continue to have growth in Center County, and perhaps I'm assuming Amazon isn't making any particular comment about the business climate here. I'm sure that sales online perhaps have slowed a little bit, and at least in the short term, they don't need 1 million square feet. That the 123 to 130 might meet their needs in the short term. Obviously, speculation.
Right.
Commissioner Concepcion, any comments?
Well, just on the Dollar General going in up in Snowshoe, it seems like that's probably going to be a welcome development for the folks who live there in terms of, at least it's bringing some kind of groceries in, if not necessarily as much of the fresh foods that they may need, but.
What I was told by one of the developers yesterday was this is a Dollar General market, meaning they're going to have a grocery component
Good.
to this facility.
Interesting. Didn't know there was.
Heard of them,
good
I
to
don't think
hear.
they're too common.
Yeah,
That's great.
There's one in Houtzdale.
Okay.
I've seen the market version of it.
Okay,
All right.
great. Okay.
Commissioner Dershowitz, any comments or questions?
Yeah, I'm just excited to see, obviously, I think a couple of them are pretty self-explanatory, just excited to see what happens at with the 123,000 square foot warehouse.
Right.
When will we know a little bit more about that project as far as who it might be or how it might be? When will plans be submitted, or how does that work?
We have some representatives from Langen Engineering as well as Suncat Property Group.
Okay.
to be able to answer those questions. I don't know those.
All right.
Those are good questions. I'm going to have to defer to Brian or Matt.
A lot of curiosity involving that project, so, I think, just
Oh, absolutely, and rightly so. My name is Brian Dunn. I'm with Suncap Property Group. We're the developers on the Bellefonte Warehouse project. The project is planned to go to a pre-application meeting in early April. So we are working tirelessly to better define the building footprint as well as the parking associated with the building. And again, we anticipate a submittal as soon as we can. And then from there, we'll be moving through the municipal process. But again, very excited to be back in front of you all today to be talking about this project.
so it's moving ahead swimmingly is what I'm hearing.
Yes, sir.
Good.
It is.
Good to hear, because we're going to get a lot of questions about that, so.
Absolutely.
We'll open it up for press questions at this point. We've got a lot of press in the room.
Warehouse, you're the same development group that submitted earlier plans for that site?
We are.
Any comment on why it's being downsized?
We can't really speculate as to why it's being downsized.
Any idea on the number of employees that will be working there?
Those numbers will be forthcoming as part of our submission of our development plan.
Any plans been submitted yet to Benner Township?
There haven't been any plans submitted since we withdrew our application earlier this year. So this is the first step in beginning the redesign and beginning to submit plans to all of the different permitting bodies.
We have your name, sir?
Sure. My name is Matt Virgin, with Suncap Property Group.
Spell your last name.
VIRGIN.
Thank you.
Any additional questions from the press? This has been a popular topic for well over a year now. No? All
Stay
right.
tuned, this is what I'm hearing.
Yes.
What's going in it?
This will be a traditional distribution warehouse use with a lot of different types of product inside.
And any additional names as to who it would be?
No comment.
All right, good questions. Anything else? No? All right. Well, thanks for coming. Unless there's anything else, we'll take a motion to approve the items.
I'll move to add planning and community development items 1 through 3 to next week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve adding the 3 items for planning and community development to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks, Brian, Matt, and obviously the very capable county staff, Chris and Ray and the rest of the team. So thanks, everyone, for all your help.
Thank you. Have a great
Thank you
day.
very much.
You too.
Thanks for all the info.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming in this morning.
Thank you.
Thank you. You have an exceptionally capable county staff.
Thanks.
Good to hear.
We actually hear that a
Yep.
lot, but we still appreciate hearing it.
Always here.
Thanks.
Always appreciate it.
All right, now we'll move on to capital projects. John has one for us here right next door.
So we're seeking approval to add to next week's consent agenda a contract with Stoltzfus Brothers Construction to replace the roof on the Valentine Street property garage. These are the 2 parcels next door where the former homes were raised because they were in poor condition. The garage is a block garage and was deemed to be something that could be of use and in decent shape.
Is of use.
Is of use, yes. So what we're proposing is to remove the existing shingle roof, repair any sheeting that needs repaired, and put a 40-year warranted metal roof on. And the contract total is $6,251.
Nice.
Okay.
Great, thanks. Any questions by the commissioner on this one?
No, it's a
No?
great project, and
Yeah.
glad we can continue to maintain that building, and it's very useful for us.
Yes.
Exactly.
All right, we'll take a motion then.
I'll move to add the contract with Stoltzfus Brothers Construction LLC to next week's consent agenda.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second to add the contract with Stolfitz Brothers Construction to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, and now Natalie has multiple different grant projects for us.
So, good morning. So, looking for consideration of approval for submission for the fiscal year 25 appropriations, specific to Senator Casey, Senator Fetterman, and then eventually, hopefully, Representative Glenn Thompson's offices. And this is done on behalf of Central County's Our Youth Center, which is right up the road here from us. Their project proposals is an opportunity for them to enhance and modernize from a safety and security perspective for both the youth and for the staff that are at the facility. Their proposal will really bring advancements in areas of equipment, supplies, staffing, and training as well. And we hope by being able to support their application process for this appropriations funding, they will be considered in the future. It'll be under appropriations bill specific to justice initiatives.
Great. Well, thanks for doing a lot of legwork on this, Natalie, and thanks to the Central County's the Youth Center, where the county is part of a multi-county joinder. Commissioner Dersham's been our representative of that board for a number of years, and obviously a very important facility because in Center County we do not put people under the age of 18 in the county correctional facility. Commissioner Concepcion, any questions?
Okay,
or
do they have a
comments?
particular design yet for this, or is it just some?
This is a multi-prong approach
Okay.
that's going to be employed here. We all know, of course, that there's an opportunity to modernize this facility. And one of the nice things is, this is a matter, there are 5 counties that are actually owners of this facility. Mifflin, Clearfield, Center, Clinton, and Huntington County. And we are literally one of the few youth detention centers in the center part of the Commonwealth. And because of that, there's usage well beyond those 5 counties. And to keep this place vibrant and to keep it active and to keep it structurally sound and safe is our first priority. And this is an opportunity, thanks to the federal government. But I would be remiss if I didn't say this was probably a light speed turnaround on behalf of Penny up at the facility and
Yes,
Natalie
and staff.
working this out, because this was no small lift.
Yeah.
We found out about this opportunity just recently, and Natalie's taken this one on and made it happen. So it literally will help the whole region, and that's, I think, one of the real selling points for us to receive this money is because it is a regional grant. It's not just Center County. It's literally going to help well beyond our borders and into the east and west of the state.
Yeah, and the issue in terms of juvenile justice is well known across the Commonwealth, and so the staff is very much interested in advancing a lot of their training techniques. They're looking at very specific, different levels of training, opportunities for trauma-informed care, opportunities for security and for safety, for enhancements when it comes to visitations, learning opportunities, programming coming into the facility to do some programming in it. I mean, it's everything from the chairs and the tables that they use for meetings up through training of staff and even looking at adding some personnel staff. So it's quite a variety of a funding opportunity that we're going to hopefully work through.
And I've had commissioners as far as 100 miles away call me and say, we have a youth, we're having extreme difficulty finding any kind of facility that will take them. Would your organization be interested? And I just pass it on to Steve.
Well,
We're trying to work it out.
To that point is if this facility doesn't exist, as it, I mean, it would be not only catastrophic to the youth criminal justice system, but you would be sending children out probably to Ohio and beyond our borders of this state. And it just makes sense from so many different aspects to make sure that we provide them the tools they can use to be successful. And it's a great facility. It's well managed, but the real challenge right now is the acuity of the individuals that it serves, between mental health and substance abuse issues and any other circumstance, it just gets continue to compound. So we need to continue to provide better training, better services, a better facility for their care. So.
And the goal of this is rehabilitation of these kids.
Yeah, to go back to our original conversation about, returning citizens, these kids are going to go back into their communities, and hopefully we can have an impact on them to change their lives,
Yeah, change the course they're on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just one note, it's just fiscal year appropriations, I just missed this, sorry. Yeah. Senator Casey, Fetterman, and Thompson, if you can have all three as the approval process, we won't have to return.
Okay.
All right. Do we need to change the action
how should I
slightly
phrase
then?
that?
So it's the actual first letter of the commissioners, but yes, the approval needs to just add Fetterman and Thompson to the statement.
Okay. All right, so then I will move to approve the fiscal year 2025 appropriations, request to Senators Casey, Fetterman, and Representative Thompson for the community project application for the Central Counties Youth Center.
I will second that.
We have a motion, a second, to approve the federal fiscal year 2025 appropriations project application to Senators Casey and Fetterman and Representative G.T. Thompson for the Central Counties Youth Center. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Great, thanks, Natalie.
So I'm
And,
actually going to do this one too. I know Cindy's in the room, but I'm going to start it
Oh,
for you.
Before we.
And then
yeah,
going to switch gears.
We are clear that this will go before the other 4 owner counties, the same action.
So I don't know about the same action because since the application process might actually be funneled through us.
Oh, okay.
That is what
Okay.
we're still trying to figure out. That's why we did it this way. We have sent this draft letter that you will all be signing on to the staff to then be shared with the other counties in hopes that we can get the support letters.
Because I let them know at the
Yes.
last meeting that we would be moving ahead on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
This process is if the opportunity of the funding has to come through us, that's why we're doing it.
All right.
It sounds like we're the lead applicant
Right.
because
Yeah.
the
Right.
actual Central Counties Youth Center has
Yeah.
very limited staff.
Yeah, so we'll see how it plays out. So I'm just going to start it, and then Cindy can answer anything just because of the contract. So this is a contract amendment with the Nittany Valley Joint Recreation Authority. This is particular to the ARPA funding that has been supported by this Board of Commissioners in the amount of $110,000 for the Kepler Pool Rehabilitation and Improvement Project. We are extending it from September 30th, 2025 to September 30th, 2026. So we are just simply amending the contract. Everything else stays the same in the contract in terms of the guidelines of ARPA funding, reporting, and being used as part of grant match for it. We're just extending that opportunity to allow the Nittany Valley to pursue additional grant opportunities that pushes the project into 2026. So.
Any additional comments, Cindy? And we know it's an important project for the greater Bellefonte area. That pool was very well loved, but needs to be replaced.
Absolutely. So I'll just say that we, the Nittany Valley Joint Rec Authority, we appreciate the commissioners' continued support, the community's continued support to this recreational asset. So we know that there are many, many competing priorities for funding, of course, in all of Center County and even in the townships that we represent. So it's really important to us. It shows a lot that you're putting some resources into this community recreational facility. I just also wanted to remind you, while I have the podium, that we do have a community meeting scheduled for this afternoon at 2 o'clock. It's at 301 North Spring Street. At that time, we will bring the community up to date on the progress that we've made in terms of securing funding, what our timeline is. And at this meeting, we're going to do something a little bit differently than what we've done before, and we're going to really drill down on the whys of Kepler Pool, because, we've had some people just ask why this is so important to the communities that are behind it. And so, in addition to, the obvious, the physical aspects, the social aspects, the psychological aspects, there are economic impacts, there are community engagement impacts, And then at the bottom, you know, at the end of the day, it's about safety. It's about teaching youth and adults how to swim. And one of the things that we've realized in some of our research is that, and thanks to Commissioner Concepcion for providing us with some resources, is that there are 11 deaths every day across the U.S. From drowning accidents. So, you know, we want Bellefonte certainly to be on the forefront of this and to be teaching community members water safety and how to swim. So the other thing that I would just comment on that is if people don't have a public pool to swim in, then where they're going to migrate to is unsafe waters, unsafe and unguarded waters. So, you know, in Bellefonte, we know that could be quarries, that could be you know, streams and rivers, certainly Bald Eagle State Park. Some of that is manned, guarded by lifeguards. Some of it is not. And so, you know, we want our people to be well equipped with water safety and swimming lessons to be able to navigate the safe waters, certainly. So thank you again for your support.
You're welcome. Thanks, Cindy. Any questions
Thanks
from
for
the
all your hard
press
work.
while Cindy's still up there?
Is this a new community or county grant or just extending? Timeline on the current?
We're extending the timeline on the
Okay.
current one. Unfortunately, the prior wording indicated it would end this year, and they're going to need into next year.
Yeah, and what this does is this allows this grant to align with other funding sources that we're applying for, so we can leverage these monies against others. Will just get us a little further towards our budget goal.
Thank you.
Thanks. Any comments from the other commissioners?
Glad to see this moving forward,
Yeah.
and looking forward to seeing you at the meeting this
Yeah.
afternoon.
Great. All right. We'll, unless there's anything else on that topic, we'll take a motion.
I will move to approve the amendment for the Nittany Valley Joint Recreation Authority grant.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the amendment with the Nittany Valley Joint Recreation Authority grant. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thank you, Natalie. Now we'll move on to Human Services. Julia has an item for aging.
Good morning. I'm asking for the approval of a contract renewal with Motion Picture Licensing Corporation to provide licensing for the purpose of watching DVDs, streaming, and downloads at Phillipsburg, Center Region, and Bellefonte Senior Centers. The contract total is $1,243.56 for the period of May 1st, 2024 through April 30th, 2025. It is 100% state funded.
Very good. Well, glad we're taking care of that. I'm sure the seniors would love to continue watching the various movies and entertainment programs.
Absolutely.
Any questions from the other commissioners? Commissioner Concepcion, Commissioner Gershon?
Nope,
All right.
sounds good.
I'll move to add the contract with Motion Picture Licensing Corporation to next week's consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to add the contract with Motion Picture Licensing Corporation to next week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks, Julia. All right, now we have an item for liquid fuels and fee for local use from John.
Before you for consideration is approval of a liquid fuels application for Penn Township in the amount of $100,000 for improvements to Green Grove Road and Smithtown Road. If you recall, this is a project that was identified under the annual liquid fuels application program that the county reviews, and this was one of those approved contracts, or approved projects. The estimated total project cost is $159,717, and in accordance with the award that occurred earlier this year, this is the formal PennDOT application in the amount of $100,000.
Great, thanks, John. Any questions, Commissioner Concepcion, Commissioner Gershon?
Nope, I'm good.
All right.
Thank you.
I'll move to approve the liquid fuels application for Penn Township.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the liquid fuels application for Penn Township. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. We have a very short consent agenda.
I will move to approve this week's consent agenda.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve this week's consent agenda. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. All right, and now we have a letter of support And Natalie and Cindy will cover this one again because it's for the Kepler
Doing the
Pool.
next three. So this is a letter of support for the Nittany Valley Joint Recreation Authority. This is applied for the DCNR C2P2 grant. This is funding that is particular for the phase one of the Kepler Pool project. And then by hopefully, if they're able to secure this funding, will then support the ARPA funding grant match that we just supported in our contracts. So this is a letter of support just outlining their opportunity to go after this DCNR funding.
Great, and nice when we can do both of these in the same meeting so that citizens can see the connection. Any comments, Commissioner Concepcion, Commissioner Dershowitz?
No.
Any questions from the press on that one? No? All right, we'll take a motion.
I'll move to approve the letter of support for the Nittany Valley Joint Recreation Authority.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the letter of support for the Nittany Valley Joint Recreation Authority. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. And then Natalie has two additional letters of support for us.
So the next one is the Mountaintop Area Medical Center has reached out for a letter of support. They are applying for similar appropriations for fiscal year 25, but they will be under a different appropriations bill. So it's not necessarily a competition, between us as people like to talk about in grants. But this is particular to their interest to hopefully in the future reopen the Mountaintop Area Medical Center. And so their hope is by applying for this appropriations funding, they're able to secure medical equipment and furniture that will help in the recruitment of a medical provider. They have a few they are talking to, but they hope by enhancing the interior of the medical center will support a provider returning to the community for them.
Well, and that's great news. We've got, I think, Snowshoe mentioned here 3 times in a single commissioner meeting. I know that they have, especially the seniors up there, have been missing the ability to have a doctor local, even if it's just for a couple days a week.
Penn State Helps Line Mobile does reach the community, but obviously they want a permanent opportunity for the community.
We do appreciate Lion Mobile. They've been very helpful. Commissioner Concepcion, any questions on this one?
No, this is a really critical need, so.
Commissioner Dershowitz?
Absolutely. Very, very much supported.
All right.
I will move to approve the letter of support for the fiscal year 25 appropriations application for the Mountaintop Area Medical Center.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the letter of support for the fiscal year 25 appropriations application to the Mountaintop Area Medical Center. All those in favor, all those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay, motion carries. And now our third letter of support.
So this is us acting as one of the 5 counties to write a support letter on behalf of the Central Counties Youth Center for their appropriations funding. This is just a way to make sure that however the application is received, either the Central Youth is the direct recipient or we are the direct recipient, we wanted to make sure that we had a support letter to support the application.
Great.
I'll move to approve the letter of support for the fiscal year 25 appropriations application for the Central Counties Youth Center.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the Central Counties Youth Center letter of support for the fiscal year 25 appropriations application. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay. Motion carries. Now we'll move to one of the larger check runs we've seen in quite a while with Commissioner Concepcion.
Yeah, so the check that I'd like to highlight in today's check run is for Center Volunteers in Medicine. There's a check for almost $3 million on our check run for Center Volunteers in Medicine because the county was the entity that processed their grant that has helped provide for their, the new building that they have, and this is part of that grant money. So we're very grateful. I think that was state legislature money.
It was
And we're
RCAP,
just,
I think.
yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, RCAP money. So we're grateful that that money came through to our county for Center Volunteers in Medicine, which is just one of the most important sources for medical care for those who are uninsured. They do amazing work there with a lot of volunteer staff. So with that, I will move to approve the check run dated March 22nd.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second to approve the check run dated on March 22nd, and to stress the importance of this, Center Volunteers in Medicine had a multi-year backlog for dental services. They just caught up finally last week, thanks in huge part to the new building and the state grant. All right, all those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed nay, motion carries. John, do we have an administrator's report?
Nothing to report at this time.
All right, now we'll move over to voters' registration report with Commissioner Concepcion.
Okay, so as of today, the total number of voters registered in Center County is 100,948 voters, and that is up 170 from our last report. Of those voters, 42,248 are registered Democratic, 139 Green Party, 596 Libertarian, 13,906 with no affiliation, and 41,024 Republican voters. There are 3,035 that are amongst all the other very small parties, which brings us up to our total of 100,948. Our party of the week this week is the Centrist Party. They have one registered voter in Center County. And our precinct of the week is Precinct 50, Ferguson Northeast 2. They vote at the Rivet at Discovery Space, which is the rear entrance at 1224 North Atherton Street. It's notable that there are two precincts voting at that address. The Rivet/Discovery Space, they go in and out of different entrances. That location has 1,235 voters registered. In the last election, there were 321 ballots cast for a voter turnout of 26%. And we would like to thank the Rivet and Discovery Space for allowing us to use their facility for elections.
Great, thanks, Amber. For announcements, Center County government offices will be closed on Friday, March 29th, in observance of spring break. Do we have any executive sessions to report or hold, John?
No executive sessions to report or hold.
All right, and for our public meeting schedule on Thursday, we have Finance Committee at 9 and Board of Elections at 1. The following Tuesday, April 2nd, we have the Board of Commissioners meeting at 10. And Thursday, April 4th, we have the combined Salary Board and Board of Commissioners meeting at 10. We'll entertain questions from the press at this point.
How much is the possible federal grant for the youth detention center? Is there none?
Natalie, do you have a ballpark on that?
I would say it's a little under $400,000.
Steve, would that be used to actually physically expand the facility, refurbish? It's just for upgraded services?
Yeah, I don't think it could be used for construction, but it can be used for, development of programs, staffing concerns. It can be used for other equipment in the facility. So we're looking to kind of spread it out as much as we can to try to get as much value as we can out of those dollars.
Theory question, if the county has questions about money allocated to any township, municipality, or whatever, the county doesn't have the power to call for an audit? It goes to the district attorney's office? Is that how it works?
Our solicitor isn't here, but I'm assuming the county itself can't call for an audit of a township. We don't have any authority over them.
I think it'd be, my first stop would be at the district attorney's office to see if there's a case of criminal investigation.
Okay.
I think there's also a conversation that maybe can be had at the State Auditor General's office, so
yeah,
I think that might be the next step on the train.
Will you pursue that conversation in terms of Milesburg?
I would think the residents would probably be better served to have that conversation initially.
That's all I have, thank you.
All right, additional questions from the press? No? All right. Well, thanks everyone for coming. One of our longer meetings in a little while, but a lot of items to cover today. Unless there's anything else for the good of the order, we'll take a motion to adjourn at 11:23.
I'll move to adjourn.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to adjourn at 11:23. All those in favor do so by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Great. Thanks everybody for coming.